Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Esser and I am going to be talking about the face negotiation theory. So, a little background on this theory. This theory basically is going to explain how we manage conflict based on our own personal cultures or how we were brought up. So, with this conflict management approach, there are going to be two main types. The first type is going to be either individualistic, which basically think about an individual who's going to use a more dominating style in dealing with conflict, and these individuals are going to be more likely to push for speedy closure. They're not going to be scared about voicing their opinions. They are definitely going to be more confrontational, and they're going to want to solve the problem as quickly as possible. So, examples of these individualistic cultures are going to be the United States, the UK, Western Europe, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand, just to name a couple. And then, as I said, there are going to be two main types. So, the other type is going to be collectivist, which, as you can guess, is basically just going to be the opposite of individualistic. And these are going to be individuals who are going to focus on the importance of the community, and they are going to use a more accommodating and avoiding style of mediating conflict. So they're going to be more submissive, they're going to be more accommodating, they're going to be more worried about the majority of the group in total instead of just their own personal needs. And examples of collectivist cultures are going to be China, Japan, Indonesia, Ghana, and Guatemala. So, this lady right here, this is Stella Ting Toomey, and she is the lady that proposed the face negotiation theory. So, a little background on her. She received her PhD at the University of Washington, and she is currently now employed as a professor of speech and communication at California State University. She has done a lot of writing in her lifetime, and she is the author and editor of 11 books, and most of her published work is going to focus on cross cultural face work, intercultural conflict, Asian communication patterns, obviously the face negotiation theory, and then the identity negotiation model. And as I said before, Miss Toomey proposed the face negotiation theory. She did this in 1985, and this theory again is aimed to better understand how people from different cultures manage conflict and disagreements. So, relating a conflict to the face negotiation theory, I chose to do a personal conflict that happened with me and my roommates. So, up in this left corner is a picture of me and my three roommates. Going from the left to the right, that is Madeline, Ariane, me, and then my other roommate, Mackenzie. And basically, if you're in the same graduating class as me, you understood the having to live on campus for 2 years. So obviously, when junior year rolled around, we were all super excited to be able to have a house off campus. And these two pictures on the right are us the first day we moved in, being girls taking pictures in front of our house. And then down below the picture of the four of us is a picture of me and my one roommate, Ariane, who, super cool fact, she was born in Honduras. So, definitely a very good example of an individualist culture versus a collectivist culture. So, a little background on this conflict. Obviously, we're girls. When we moved into this house, it was a big deal about who was going to get the biggest room, who was going to get the biggest bathroom, who was going to get the biggest closet. And basically, there was just a lot of back and forth conflict. I found the house, so I thought that I should get the biggest room. And then all of my other roommates were like, hey, Taylor, I think there's a way easier way to do this. So we all decided to put names in a hat and draw out names. And ironically enough, my name got drawn first. So I ended up getting the biggest room. My other two roommates, Madeline and Mackenzie, they got their names drawn second, so they got the rooms that they wanted. And then my roommate Ariane unfortunately ended up getting picked last, and she got the smallest room that nobody really wanted in the house. And being the kind-hearted, just nice person that she is, I could tell that she was upset, and I knew that she wasn't going to voice her concerns about the room that she wanted. So I, taking an individualistic approach, tried to get all of my roommates to sit down and get her to voice her opinion about not wanting the smallest room. But again, she comes from a collectivist culture, so she just was like, hey guys, honestly, I did not get the room that I wanted, but I don't want to cause any more conflict in the house. I'm not living in this house forever. It's fine. We can just move past it. I would rather everyone be happy than cause more of a conflict trying to find a new room assignment. So that's just kind of where we settled. I had the biggest room. Mackenzie and Madeline had the rooms that they wanted, and then Ariane just kind of settled and took the room that nobody else wanted just because she's very nice. So a little analysis of conflict using the face negotiation theory. So once again, just to kind of refresh, the theory focuses on better understanding how people from different cultures deal with conflict. So as I said before, me and Mackenzie and Madeline kind of took more of an individualistic approach. Obviously, I kind of went in to the room assignments saying that I wanted the biggest room. Madeline and Mackenzie ended up flipping a coin to see who would get the bigger closet out of the two rooms they had. And then, as I said before, Ariane took more of a collectivist approach, and she just ended up settling with the room that kind of nobody else wanted. So by Ariane taking a collectivist approach to the conflict, she was able to preserve her non-confrontational face and ensure the conflict was resolved without any further disagreements, which is definitely the main goal of any collectivist individual. And as I said before, I ended up with the biggest room. Madeline and Mackenzie flipped a coin to see who got the biggest closet. They both got the room, so they ended up winning. And then Ariane took the smallest room in the front that nobody really wanted. And then recommendations to improve conflict. Overall, the best way to mediate conflict is going to be when the mediator is aware of the potential for confrontation beforehand, which in this case would be choosing which room each of us get. And obviously, we're girls, so things like the biggest room, the biggest bathroom, the biggest closet is obviously going to be of utmost importance to us. So obviously, moving into this house and assigning rooms, there was always going to be potential for confrontation. And then the best ways to improve conflict also is going to be for the neutral party to explain the goal of the negotiations and encourage the other parties to avoid topics or statements that may threaten face. So obviously, me going into this room assignment saying that I should get the biggest room because I found the house may not have been the best way to negotiate. And so, as I said before, we decided to put our names in a hat and draw names, but after learning about the face negotiation theory, instead of using a hat to draw names, we could have let our non-confrontational roommate, Ariane, the one that got the small room, we could have let her choose her room first to ensure that she still felt heard, because obviously, as I said, we've all been friends forever. I have known these girls since middle school, high school, college. I know these girls like the back of my hand, and me and my other roommates all knew that Ariane was not going to speak up and voice her concerns because she just does not like conflict. So again, while this may not have been the fairest way to decide who gets what room, it would have allowed our roommate to get the room that she wanted without facing any conflict from the rest of the house. And honestly, I would have taken the smallest room if it meant that she was happy, because I know that she definitely is not going to voice her concerns if she has them, just because she's a very, very nice person and practices collectivist culture. So in conclusion, just another little reminder, the face negotiation theory is used to better understand how people from different cultures deal with and react to conflict. There are going to be two main approaches when dealing with conflict. First, individualistic. Remember, this is going to be upfront, to the point, demanding. They are going to go for the conflict, try to get it solved as quickly as possible. And then collectivist, which is going to be more of a submissive and accommodating approach. And then just a little background, just in case anyone was worried about us fighting over our rooms. Even though my roommate was upset about the roommate assignments, once we moved into the house and started decorating, she started putting decor and getting a comforter and putting a rug in. She ended up being really happy with the room she wanted, and she actually loves her room now. So the house was able to come together and put this conflict behind us. And just for proof, here's a picture of all four of us happy, smiling together. We all love each other again. There's no more drama about the rooms. So using the face negotiation theory, we were able to diffuse this conflict and all be happy in our little off living house.